of you to the SDG 13 Climate Action Room. So, as we all know, today is the last day of UTILARA, Connect in Harmony, Collab for Sustainability. And now, finally, we've reached the activity that all of you have been waiting for. Before we get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Aura, and I will be hosting the SDG Climate Action Room. Before moving on to the main event, I would like to give a brief explanation on what we are exactly going to be doing in this session. So in this session now, we will be listening to every group's presentation about their case study result on climate action. And I definitely can't wait to hear all of your ideas and opinions about this topic. So other than that, as you may know, I would also like to introduce to all of you and welcome our beloved judges. For today, Ms. Mutia Widyalestari and Ridima Pendi. Let's welcome them with a round of applause. Woo! So, Ms. Mutia and Ridima, how are you feeling right now? Are you excited to hear each and every group's presentation?
Hi everyone. If I say, after reading all the articles and seeing the posters, I am really very excited to see the presentations and what you guys are going to put forward.
Likewise, the feeling is mutual, so I'm really excited to see the presentation of all of you guys.
Okay, thank you so much to Ms. Mutia and Ridima for your feedbacks. So for today's presentation, every group is expected to give their presentation in 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the material, but we will tolerate the duration until 10 minutes per group, continued by questions, inputs, or feedbacks from the judges. So please pay attention to your duration because it is part of the assessment rubric. So more on the assessment rubric for your article, you will be judged based on first, your grammar, and overall text structure, material sustainability, how relevant it is to the main topic, and the solutions you came up for the issue. And for the presentation itself, the judges will be scoring based on first, the validation of the presentation's content, poster appearance, how you deliver your presentation, and as I said before, your presentation duration will also be assessed too. So now to remind all of you, the order of today's group presentation will totally be shuffled. So it surely will be full of surprises, and all group posters will also be shared with the help of our committee. So, okay, now I know all of you have been dreading for this moment to begin. So without further ado, let's start the assessment of our case study competition. To begin with, I would like to invite our first group, which is Group Climate Action 1, to start our session with your presentation. So for Group Climate Action 1, the stage is yours.
If I may the other members please raise their hands so our judges would know who we are. Thank you. I believe we have one more member. Plastic problem. Now allow me to call on Agnes to present a brief background on the problem.
Hello everyone. The plastic problem in the Philippines is a very rampant issue and is only continuing to grow to an even bigger problem. As we can see, the poster, the Philippines is the third largest plastic emitting country in the world with over 2.7 million generated per year. 0.75 million end up in oceans. Additionally, the Philippines is responsible for the world's plastic input in the oceans. Six of the largest plastic emitting
dangers of plastic pollution, and then introduce alternatives to conventional plastic, such as bioplastics. Subsequently, the barangays are to instruct households to follow a Household Plastic Waste Classification Index, a community program that instructs households within their districts to segregate their plastic waste into non-recyclable plastics and recyclable plastics. The barangays are to collect the non-recyclable plastics and transport them to recycling centers that offer recycling programs for such waste. Recyclable plastics are to be sent to local recycling centers for proper disposal. Now to call on Chelsea for our other proposed solutions.
All right, thank you, Gianni. And regarding this, we've also prepared two other solutions that can maybe help with the success of our program. One of them being to strengthen this program not only to household roles, but also socializing it to schools and giving practices for the younger generation of waste management and addressing the current issue with plastic pollution. And the other one being to increase the prices of plastic products that includes conventional plastics, which are a huge part of the pollution. And these solutions will hopefully spark a significant decrease in plastic consumption and pollution. And now I will call on Abin to give our recommendations.
Thank you, Chelsea. So our recommendations on how the proposed solutions may be further improved if deemed effective are as following. The first one is to expand the reach of state program to not only local administrative districts, or in this case is barangay, but also other forms of local government units such as municipalities and provincial boards to extend its benefits to urbanized cities and province. The second one is to applying the state program to other municipal solid waste other than plastic waste, as to maximize efforts in reducing environmental pollution and greenhouse emissions. The third and the last one is to implement programs that aim to provide resources toward the making of bioplastic and other conventional plastic alternatives. That is all from our group. We hope you enjoyed the presentation and we would like to apologize for any mistakes we made.
Okay, woo, thank you so much for the presentation. For sure, we can all agree that that was such a great case study solving presented by Climate Action 1. The presentation was very, very insightful. And from your presentation, I am also aware that plastic is very harmful for our environment, and countries all around the world are facing the same issue, including Philippines itself. So from what Climate Action 1 has presented, what do you think, Ms. Mutia and Vidima? Do you have any questions or input for the group?
Should I go first? Okay. Firstly, I really liked when it comes to the article as well. It was like super easy to read. It was interesting, and I really liked it. And for the presentations as well, it was really, really great. And I'm still figuring out. For the questions, I was just going through your article once again in terms if I had something. And yeah, for now, I really liked your presentation. But I would really pose my questions furthermore if I had any, because I'm still going through the articles for now.
Yeah, for me, the posters is so easy to understand. So you put the current situation and then you put the solution. And at this presentation, you also explaining one by one about your recommendation. So yeah, I like that. And yeah, that's for me. And for the question, maybe I will also, like Ridima, I will postpone it until the next jury session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Mutia and Ridima, for your comments. And I'm sure it will be very useful for the members later. So moving on, we will call up the next group, which is Group Climate Action 4. So for Climate Action 4, the stage is yours.
Good morning, fellow competitors and judges. We are from Group Climate Action 4 or CA4. We have 4 other members. I think they're here all. They're already here.
For members of Group Climate Action 4, you may raise your hand so our committee can spotlight all of you. Thank you. Okay, for Group Climate Action 4, you may start your presentation.
Okay, we are so sorry for the wait. Good morning, honorable judges, Mutya Widya-Lestari, Vidima Pandey, the UTILARA committee, and fellow friends and competitors. We are from Group Climate Action 4 or CA4, and we will be presenting our poster about Indonesia's plastic waste and its effects on the country and environment. But before we start, let us humbly introduce ourselves. I am Janasari Projo from St. Ursula High School, Jakarta. And we have Stephen Singwalan from Canisius College. We have Supajuta Firajpan, or Mild for short, from Mater Dei School. And we also have Josh Ledman from Rudy School of Mandaluyong. We hope with our presentation, after the 5 days we use for analyzing and interpreting this case study about plastic pollution, we can provide for a better earth and a better home for us all. I will now pass it on to Stephen to start. I think Stephen has technical difficulties right now, so I'm going to substitute for him. So what are we actually here to talk about? Well, let's start from how it all started and why such a movement is being made in many places around the world. Indonesia is currently the 5th most plastic polluted country in the world. 7.8 million tons of plastic waste is generated, and 4.9 million tons of plastic waste are mismanaged. They could be uncollected, disposed of in open dump sites, or leaked from improperly managed landfills. Furthermore, the demand for single-use plastic is still rising rapidly because it is convenient to use daily. And I will now pass it on to Mild to talk about the impact.
Plastic pollution can cause a myriad of environmental issues, especially to the ocean. Water is a serious problem for marine organisms, with risks including entanglement, choking, strangulation, malnutrition, and death. Examples of such incidents have been circulating and trending on Indonesian social media. In 2018, there was a sighting of turtle at Wakotobi shore in Southeast Sulawesi, whose inside were filled with garbage, including 25 single-use plastic bags, 4 plastic bottles, 115 plastic cups, and 2 flip-flops. Moreover, the study found that Jakarta main river, along with other rivers, is contaminated by microplastic, which studies show can damage cell, lower fertility rate, and increase risk for several diseases like cancer.
So it is obvious that this huge amount of plastic usage is negatively affecting Indonesia and will continue to do so in the future. So to whom should the blame rest? Well, for one, industrial giants. Unilever, Indofood, and Mayora Inda are the top three contributors to single-use plastic packaging waste pollution in Indonesia. Indofood and Mayora Inda are some of the many Indonesian food industry companies that contribute to pollution. And Unilever in particular had made steps to begin collecting and recycling plastic sachets, which contribute to 4/5 of Indonesia's plastic pollution. But in the past few years, it abruptly stopped, leaving hundreds of waste collectors with tons of plastic waste that they have no choice but to burn as they run out of storage. And these companies are just a few of the hundreds of industries contributing to hundreds of thousands of plastic waste in the country. Aside from them, though, we also have ourselves to blame. These companies are clearly the source of most of our plastics and a great deal of Indonesia's plastic pollution. But it is the public that uses plastic packaging daily and disposes of it incorrectly. We buy food, toiletries, and other daily necessities, and yet we throw them on the streets. We don't segregate our trash, and likewise. Let me pass it on back to Miss Janice.
Thank you, Josh. And hence, have Indonesian people done anything to solve the matter? As Indonesians have the natural behavior and tend to be on the internet almost 24/7, they are obviously shocked and devastated at the subject, making it a trending topic on the internet, as ironic as it is because we are the ones also contributing to plastic pollution. From Indonesia's political side, in 2020, the government released an action plan that resolved to lower the amount of plastic leakage into the oceans by 70% in 2025. The Coordinating Ministry for Maritime Affairs also set the reduction target of plastic pollution in the ocean by 70% in the same period of time. They aim to achieve this by doubling Indonesia's waste collection and recycling capacity, substituting plastic products, redesigning products with recycling as a focus, and expanding on facilities that can safely dispose of other plastic waste. Though this action plan will hopefully ease and reduce a bit of this big problem we face, it won't be completely solved unless the Indonesian people make an effort to actively curb their plastic consumption. The trending stories on social media have already played a big part in helping, raising awareness to the major problem at hand, and all that is left is movement.
So therefore, what can we as the younger generation do in order to stop this problem? Is it too late? Of course not. Even though the plastic problem is already huge and on an international level, we can still make small steps to reduce plastic waste. Starting small, we can start using our own reusable bags for grocery shopping, segregating our plastic, putting pressure on the government and manufacturers through social media since they obviously have a bigger footprint. If you believe a company could be smarter about its packaging, write a letter, send a tweet, or even choose a more eco-friendly competitor. As for our proposed solution, community collection drives at the village level can help promote social action and collaboration with a certain amount of money as a reward for collecting a certain amount of trash, providing incentive to participate, similar to the Trash for Cash campaign in certain localities in the Philippines. Here you can exchange your plastic waste for environmental points, which can furthermore be exchanged for groceries, food items, and toiletries.
I guess that sums up our presentation today. We hope that what we have shared can help raise awareness and eventually inspire all of you to help and contribute to climate action. And it's okay to start small because small progress is still progress. If we all work together to get past this crisis, we can give the Earth another chance at life. After all, we owe it to every living being that calls this planet home. Thank you so much for listening, fellow competitors and honorable judges. We are from CA4, and that is all for today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much to Group Climate Action for your insightful presentation. I know it's quite sad looking back to how our environment is hugely impacted by plastic waste. So for now, we would like to invite our judges to give their opinions on your work or ask questions. For Ms. Mutia and Ridima, the floor is yours.
I mean, first of all, I really like the way you guys presented. I know you guys were short on time, so it was like you guys were talking a bit faster, and I would have loved if you guys were a little slow, but I know, you guys had a lot to present, and, it was all amazing, like for the presentation, as for the poster as well. But as for your solution, I mean, I had this question that for the things that you mentioned, I mean, what people should do is all great. That's what we all also suggest people to do. But when it comes to, I guess, the solution that you posed on, which was similar to Trash for Cash campaign, right? So are you trying to say that, there should be a campaign similar to that, or do you guys want that campaign to be followed throughout? I mean, if you guys could make me a little clear on that, that would be great.
Is we believe po that the trash for campaign really is a good one, a good solution. So actually, both options are nice. We could make a program that generally follows what happens, generally follows the procedures of the Trash for Cash campaign, or we could also just bring it to Indonesia as well.
Okay, thank you so much. And lastly, I mean, I really love the way you guys incorporated social media and put up the stories of the turtle and the whale and everything. It was really great. So yeah, it was really amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for me, I like the presentation. It's so true, and then the solution also on grassroots level. But unfortunately, you did not put it into your posters, the solution. Yeah. But for everyone that wonder about the solution, you can also listen to the presentation and read the articles there, putting it there, the solution. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much to Ms. Mutia and Redeema for the insightful comments. And I'm sure it will be very useful for the members. So for now, moving on, we will be calling up the next group. So for the next group, we will be calling Climate Action 2 group. So for Climate Action 2, the stage is yours.
So good day, everyone. We are the Climate Action 2 group composed of Kanta from St. Ursula, Chayanan from Mater Dei, Benaya from Canisius College, and yours truly, Miguel from Lourdes School of Mandaluyong. And we will be presenting the severity and solution of Philippines' plastic mess. The World Population Review reports that the Philippines rank third among the countries with the most plastic pollution and first among the countries that release the most plastic into the ocean. Accordingly, it is an undeniable fact that the Philippines has a big problem with plastic. One of its primary causes is the rampant use of single-use plastics in the country, specifically sachets. The Philippines has what we call a sachet economy. According to Allegado in 2019, Filipinos use more than 163 million sachet packets daily. One of the reasons for this could be how most of the basic needs, if not all, comes in sachet packs. Different basic commodities such as sugar, coffee, soy sauce, shampoo, and toothpaste are just some of the many things that come in a sachet in the country. Companies use this sachet to accommodate to the poor sector of the population since they do not have enough income to purchase these products in bulk. The widespread use of sachets and incorrect disposal of it cause clogging and leakage to the ocean, threatening marine life. Additionally, it also threatens various livelihoods such as tourism and fishery, as more of these wastes end up in the environment.
Filipinos actually start to notice the adverse effects of this plastic waste. Yet in far too many instances, they are still apathetic and selfish. Most care only about their personal comfort and convenience, thus still disposing of plastic waste carelessly without involving appropriate consideration. They prioritize getting rid of plastic for their own household and community, neglecting the bigger nationwide fate of plastic waste management. We are pretty sure that the Philippines government is the party responsible for this environmental crisis. They lack the power and the aptitude in controlling local government units and the growth of establishments factories, and facilities that don't comply with the 10-year waste management plan. They even repeatedly blame their own people, which reflects the disharmony, the gap, and the weak solidarity between the two in sorting out this issue, which make it seem like it's an impossible issue to solve. Moreover, they lack innovation in plastic waste management. Filipinos' brightest minds by choice went abroad to work and innovate rather than develop and fix their own country's environmental mess.
Okay, so the next will be the solution. We have compiled the solution to the problem of plastic pollution. First is raise awareness, because we believe that in order to do things, we should be an understanding and real importance of the environment. We may need to set up project or program or campaign to encourage and cooperation with recycling. Second is find another packaging or alternative for plastic. We have presented for use biodegradable materials, which can be designed by natural processes into some usable from, for example, plates made from leaves, biodegradable ALTs. Third, we have paying for plastic bags in convenience store or leading store. There must be a price for using plastic bags to make everyone know that plastic bags are not free anymore. They are used in a limited and minimal manner. And the fourth, if plastics play such a role in our lives, then there should be a redesigning packaging for easier recycling. And the last is reduce, reuse, and recycle. We all know that what these three are. So the reduce is eliminate single-use plastic, reduce the amount of plastic we use. Reuse is like turn waste into treasure, and it can also be a product that generates income as well. And recycle is we should separate waste properly. If we follow this, we may be able to solve the problem and can solve the problem of plastic waste.
This problem might seem difficult, but it seems difficult globally since it's hard to get everyone involved with being too caught up with their individual lives. And we haven't maximized awareness regarding the dangers of using single-use plastics. And other than that, the central government claims it's done all it can with them prohibiting single-use plastics. There's also environmental advocates who disagree with such claims, saying the government could do more. For example, pressuring national corporations to change their products. But this problem is not for the government to do alone. This matter becomes much more simpler if we can see what we can do as individuals. Binaya, would you mind explaining what said things are?
Thank you. So we, the CA2 team, promote real-life and concrete solutions to the Philippines' plastic pollution problem. Individually, especially people in the Philippines, can start to participate by investing and donating to construction companies that manufacture non-polluting building materials or household furnitures made from recycled plastic. Or be part-time volunteers in private institutions that hold environment-centered events, activities, and workshops. Ultimately, we think it's best if people obey the prohibition of plastic bag usage, even though the regulation isn't yet available in their respective districts.
Okay, in conclusion, the plastic pollution issue is something worth collaborating for. Though environmental advocates disagree, saying the government could do more, including pressuring multinational corporations to find better alternatives for their products. This is not a problem that can be solved by just the government or world leaders alone. It needs a collective effort from everyone. Saving the Philippines from plastic is a huge leap for the whole world in accomplish the 30 SDG. Starting by planting new habits for investing our time and energy to less plastic, we have the power to create change. Last but not least, there's no such thing as a way. When we throw things away, it must go somewhere. Thank you for your attention.
Ooh, wow. Thank you so much for Group Climate Action 2 for your amazing and insightful presentation. I'm sure I'm not the only one that is getting more inspired to take action to this issue from Climate Action 2's presentation. So now we would like to invite our judges back to give their opinions on your work or ask questions. So to Ms. Mutia and Ridima, the floor is yours.
Good job, guys. You guys really did a great job. Firstly, the presentation was really nice. Your article is really good. But I feel like for the poster, when I saw the poster, it has a lot in there. Your guys' content within the poster is really great. But when it comes to, having a poster and, I feel like the poster should be something that should be appealing for someone to read it. So I feel like, there is a lot in there for a poster to contain. You guys could have prioritized some of the things which you guys would have felt, was most important. But right now, the poster just seems like, okay, there is something, there is a pamphlet kind of a thing, and it is not really that appealing to read or to get many people's attention. But likewise for your article, I really liked it. For the presentation, I say, it was really amazing. The things and the points that you guys had were really great, but it could have been a little more, interesting in a way, as it was for the previous groups. But overall, it was really amazing. Your content and your work is really amazing, and you guys really did a great job.
Yeah, I also like CA2 article. They're really detailed for putting all of the data, all of the reference there, and and also that saset economy is not only happening in Philippines but also in Indonesia and maybe other countries that most of the population is still live below the average of the income, because they can only afford that such things for living. Yeah. And then about the solution, I also like it because it's on the grassroots level, and even though you at first blame the government, but then the solution is really nice because it's collaboration between the government, the multinational corporation, and the people, the youth, and even for someone that live on the area that has no rule about plastic pollution, and they can start act on it first without waiting for the rule to come. And I think it's good. And for the poster, I agree with Ridima. Maybe you can also put that. I like that yellow thing on the right back. It's like when you throw something away, it's not vanished. It's still there. Maybe you can make it more bigger, because that's what happened. That's from me. Thank you.
Okay, once again, thank you so much to Ms. Mutia and Ridima for your insightful comments. I'm sure that all of your comments and inputs will surely be useful for the members. So moving on, we will call up the next group. So for group Climate Action 7, you may begin your presentation.
Greetings, judges and friends. We all know that plastic pollution is a concern that has been highlighted for more than years. But why is it a concern in the first place? Don't worry, we, Group 7 of Climate Action, are here to present to you everything about plastic pollution in Indonesia. The members of our group are the following: Graciana Eva Teresia Oli, yours truly, last but not the least, Verena Danamaya Bintang. Let's start. I will be passing the virtual stage to Tere to give us an introduction on plastic pollution.
Thank you very much, Tristan. I'll go over some brief facts about plastic pollution. Plastic pollution has been repeatedly mentioned in the news, But some people remain oblivious to the fact that it is critical to focus on reducing our plastic usage. This type of pollution is caused by a lack of support from various parties, the widespread use of single-use plastic products and plastic packaging, a lack of waste collection facilities, and of course, Indonesia's lack of environmental awareness. Furthermore, Indonesia is the world's second largest contributor to plastic pollution in 2021, with an increase of 11.5 million tons of plastic waste generated. Well, as you all know, plastic pollution is wreaking havoc on Indonesia and the rest of the world. Some people are becoming more aware of the problem, but others continue to ignore it, ignoring the fact that if such problems persist, our world will collapse in a matter of years. This problem could be solved quickly if people start changing and acting right away, but since many people choose to ignore it, we will hardly change and find the ideal solution. Okay? Furthermore, Faye will elaborate on the types of plastic pollution in Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I will continue. And so basically, there are two types of plastic pollution. The first one being marine plastic pollution, and the second one is land-based pollution. According to our research, Indonesia generates 6.8 million tons of plastic waste annually up to April 2021, with only 10% of it ending up in recycling centers. As per statistics from Indonesia's Ministry of Environment and Forestry, approximately 1,772.7 grams of waste per square meter of Indonesia's oceans were polluted in 2020. Plastic waste accounted for the majority of the waste discovered at 627.8 grams of waste per square meter, as shown in the poster's graphic. In terms of land-based pollution, we all know that 30% of Jakarta, Indonesia's capital, used to have daily waste in 2019 with 85,000 tons of plastic bags. The number is also growing as a result of pandemic masks and plastic food packaging. According to the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, 68.5 million tons of garbage were produced in the country in 2021. Plastics account for 11.6 million tons, or nearly 70% of the total. We will now proceed with explanations from Grace.
Thanks, Faye. Now I'm going to continue the presentation by laying out facts and how youth can be a part of the solution against plastic pollution problem. First thing first, research. Yes, to be a part of a solution or to produce a solution at all, we need to get a full comprehension of what's happening and be resourceful in constructing our thoughts. The fact that there are so many nuances in the plastic pollution problems, as it involves economy, politics, environment, and other areas of life, it's best to keep ourselves updated and be mindful of what we're doing. The next thing that we can do is to start from ourselves and to start from the little things. At some point in receiving education about climate action, most of us probably realize that we contribute to the problem by our daily use of plastic. So the most simple solution that you can do is to start building a new lifestyle, living up to environmentally friendly habits, like, for example, switching to reusable items. And the next thing that we can do is to spread awareness. Yes, spreading awareness may seem cliche, but solving a case as big as climate action cannot be done by oneself. All actors have to weigh in their parts. So you can share what you know to people around you in your own way. One-on-one talk, social media, joining a forum in school, or to join an organization that fights for the same cause. You can use the space to discuss and make plans for the future. If you have ideas, inventions, you should voice it. And you can gain support from your environment. Eventually, with data, solutions, and perseverance, the fight will be heard. And now I'll pass the stage to Tristan.
Thank you, Grace. Now that she has discussed more about us, the youth, and the solutions we can do, how about our government? I would like to discuss two different types of solution. First off, curative methods. Despite the difficulties presented by plastic pollution, governments all over the world have found possible solutions. One of these countries is Singapore, their project being Landfill in Macau, which aims to dissolve trash into small fragments that can be used to fill man-made islands. Another project would be the Sea-Bin project. It's a non-governmental organization initiative. It is essentially a marine pump that suctions water and filters waste from bodies of water. But What strategies does our government Indonesia do? So this is where preventive methods happen. So yes, implementing tactics from other nations may be efficient, but not everyone has the resources to do so, which is why Indonesia has fought plastic pollution through Presidential Decree number 97, 2017. It primarily focuses on eliminating plastics, but more significantly on reducing plastic use. This is an excellent method since it addresses the source of the problem. I mean, if there are no plastics to be thrown away, there will be no plastics of pollution to begin with. And finally, the benefits. Why should we continue the fight against plastic pollution? The Pope's letter, Laudato Si, is a call to protect our common home. And with that, our responsibility to become responsible stewards of God's creation. The food, shelter, clothing, and all our blessings. These are our gifts, which are already given, which are from God's creation. To protect Mother Nature is the least we can do, and it's the responsible thing to do, especially when God trusted us with our free will. That is all from Group CA7. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you so much for Group Climate Action 7 for your wonderful presentation. First of all, us from the committee, we would like to say sorry for presenting the wrong poster before, but the judges can see the right version of the wonderful poster that Climate Action 7 has already made. So I'm sure everyone has been reassured that our environment is also part of our responsibilities as youth to make change. And now we would like to invite our judges back to give their opinions on your work or ask questions. So to Ms. Mutia and Ridima, the floor is yours.
Firstly, I really liked your article as well, and the way you guys presented it was really amazing. So great work, guys. The only thing was that, for your poster, it's again, the content that you guys have in your poster is really, really, really amazing. It was the same like the last team, like your guys' content is so great, but it's just, a lot for, someone to indulge specifically right here, it has a lot of content, but again, it could have been put in a different way because, it's a lot for someone to read specifically, when you want someone to get interest into these things. I feel like the poster could have been a little more nicer, but otherwise, I really like your guys' presentation, your article, and when it comes to the solutions as well, it was really, really great. Your poster could have been a little better, but the presentation wise and your article was really, really amazing. So great work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also like your articulation for delivering this subject to other people in this presentation. It's easy to understand. And yeah, at first I thought I feel it's too general, but after I thinking about it later, then this is as a good amount as for other people in general to understand about this matter. So to not go deep into the detail first, but make them interested and know the bigger picture about this matter, and then start digging deep after they engage about this matter. And yeah, and I also read on your article about pointing the role of the youth for the solution, and I like that. And yeah, thank you. And maybe you can also put the example of the organization, like what you found about this one. They're already doing this kind of thing in Indonesia, and then maybe so other people can also join the movement or the action. That's from me.
Okay, once again, thank you so much to Ms. Mutia and Ridima for the amazing insights that will certainly be helpful for the members. And once again, thank you too for the group Climate Action 7. So now moving on, we will call up the next group. So for group Climate Action 6, the stage is yours.
Good morning to you and the judges, Ridipandi and Mutia. We are Group 6 of Climate Action, presenting to you our topic, Contamination of Plastic. Our group members are
Hi, my name is Aileen Renu. I'm from Theodorus Katamabagu.
Carla Lim from Word School of Mandaluyong.
I'm Rachel Calvary from St. Ursula High School, Jakarta.
And I'm Andrea Teresa from St. Ursula High School.
Okay, let's start with the first question. What do you think is the core or root cause of the problem?
First of all, we are aware that one of the largest issues in the world today is plastic waste. In our opinion, the core or root cause of plastic pollution is that people are unaware of the impact of their actions, such as throwing plastic waste into rivers through factories. The country's increasing population leads to the rise of consumerism, therefore increasing the number of plastic waste. It is also because the plastic that is difficult to decompose is easier to make than the biodegradable plastic. There are different ways on how people react and approach plastic pollution. For example, there are people who are still ignorant and won't take action to solve this matter, or they could be the cause of this. However, there are also people who still care about the environment and take action like using reusable products, reducing the use of plastic, etc. Besides, there is biodegradable plastic, which can be used as an environmentally friendly alternative to the use of plastic.
Then, in your opinion, is it easy or difficult to solve this problem and why?
Well, how about we start from you, Rachel? What do you think about this?
Well, in my opinion, I think it's pretty difficult as it takes time to realize the problem, spread awareness, convince others, and then to actually take action. It also requires a lot of time to see the results. This has actually been a problem in Indonesia, specifically Jakarta, in these past few years, and the plastic pollution is just getting worse. This proves that it's not easy to solve this problem. What about you, Tessa?
Well, I think it is difficult to solve since we've used plastic all the time. Although it's true that plastic makes everything easier, it has negative impacts on the environment as well.
Okay, and what about Carlo?
Wait a minute, I'm lagging. Wait.
Okay, I want to say my opinion.
Okay, then let's start from Eileen first.
I think it's difficult to solve because many people still don't care about the environment. But if we make change starting with ourselves and keep trying to invite others to care about the environment, I think it will be easier. So that's my opinion.
Okay, and Carlo, are you still lagging?
It's okay now. So may I continue? May I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. So my opinion is that it depends on the will and participation of the citizens in the country. If people are willing to make a change for the better, then solving the issue is much easier. If people are indifferent to the issues, then solving it will be very difficult. Though currently many people do not yet care too much to make a difference, especially those with more influence, such as big companies, so reaching the goal of solving plastic pollution is quite difficult.
Okay, so in conclusion, we can all agree that this issue is difficult to solve due to the lack of concern from the people. It is also agreed that we all have been accustomed to using plastics, that it is difficult to divert ourselves from it, especially when it comes to a global scale. Now, who do you think is responsible for this and how can it change?
So I think everyone is responsible, but of course, everyone would not immediately agree. So a seminary or a role from the government is needed to motivate everyone. We believe that everyone is responsible for this issue. Intentionally, we all contribute to plastic pollution in one way or another, such as buying products that include a lot of plastic and usage of plastic bags. However, we think that the lack of concern contributes greatly to this issue, with significant figures such as the governments and large companies show. To truly make a change, we all need to show concern and action on this issue, especially the significant figures as they have a large influence over the country and perhaps the world.
Okay, do you have any opinions on how to solve this problem?
Here are our opinions to solve this plastic pollution problem. Firstly, people should be more aware and initiative to help solve this matter. We should start small by not throwing plastic waste carelessly, bringing our own reusable shopping bags, using reusable water bottles to school, and other small acts that could help. Encourage the use of reusable bags to replace one-time plastic bags. We can also try to encourage the use of paper packaging instead of plastic or the use of biodegradable reusable alternatives to plastic that will still be able to do their job. Even though there are people who want to stop plastic usage, in the end, they still have to use plastic, since plastic is everywhere. Therefore, policies from the government could help, such as policies to ban plastic and use biodegradable plastic or banning factories from producing more products using plastics in large amounts.
And lastly, we talk of a new solution that was never mentioned before, but could supposedly help. The solution is that there should be a machine to destroy all plastic waste that can be reused, and the government should make a policy where every 2 weeks or 1 week, the plastic waste will be destroyed.
Okay, that's all for the questions and our presentation. Thank you for listening and for your attention.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much for Group Climate Action 6 for your insightful presentation. I'm so inspired from your presentation, and it sure is an amazing solution to a very concerning matter. So for now, I would like to invite our judges back to ask questions or give input to your work. So to Miss Mutia and Ridima, the stage is yours.
Guys, first of all, I really like the way you guys thought of this idea of making it more like a conversation while you guys were presenting. Though it got a little out of the place because of technical difficulties, I can understand that. But rather than that, I really like this idea of presenting it in a conversational way. It was really amazing. It was really kind of like, engaging at the same time. I really liked it. As for your article as well, it was really good. But for the article, I think it could have been a little more better. Likewise, it looks really good, but the content within it could have been a little more, insightful, like maybe having a little more facts and figures for the people to understand this is how big it looks like. But rather than that, overall it was good. The only thing is the poster could have been a little better.
Yeah, I also like it. The presentation is like a talk show, so you ask each other opinions about this matter. And the poster is so colorful, and I like the fish. It's like the fish talking to us, like people are still ignorant to this matter. What about me, like that? Yeah. I also like the who's responsible is everyone, but maybe you can also elaborate each parties of the everyone, like from the youth, from the government, from the multinational level corporation, and then the solution is also so super innovative. But you also put the small acts first, like bring the bottle and then use the non-single plastic. But then at the last, you give the machine to destroy all plastic waste that can be reused. Yeah, may I know whose idea is that, or all of you thinking about that matter?
Sorry, for which idea?
Yeah, the idea to make the machine to destroy all the plastic that cannot be recycled, that cannot be used.
Sorry, it was Eileen's idea.
Oh, very good. Yeah, maybe Eileen, do you like about the innovation thing? Maybe if you start to pursue your career on that, and the next 5 or 10 years, you will have that machine to show idea. Yeah, but that's a good frame, I think. And yeah, for now we can start small, like you suggested. Yeah, I like it. Thank you. That's for me.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much to Ms. Mutia and Redeema for the very insightful comments and inputs that will certainly be insightful for all of the members. So next, we are going to be calling our next group. So for Climate Action Tree Group, the stage is yours.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Sawadee krap.
Hello everyone, we are from group CA3 and today we'll be talking about the plastic pollution problems in Thailand. My name is Regina and I'm here today with my teammates Earl from Lourdes School of Mandaluyong. So let's get started.
Hey everyone ทุกคนกินข้าวหรือยังคะ
กินข้าวค่ะ
Yang.
Sounds great. I hope everyone will get lunch later. I have something to tell you about this poster. I've got this poster from the Public Relations Board yesterday. I think we should discuss the problem of Thailand together. Maybe we can use this information in our group project tomorrow. Shall we?
We shall. Okay, let's talk about it. First of all, the structural and mechanical integrity of Mother Earth is suffering more than we could ever imagine, and it is continuously getting tortured as we speak. Its reputation, however, isn't directly caused by it, but the people who reside on the planet. Indeed, the very people who are benefiting from the resources and life provided by Earth, our common home. For the longest time, mankind has been persistently warned by various signs of environmental decline, such as the depletion of the ozone layer, global warming, and climate change. Albeit, it is very disheartening to say we have neglected all these hazards time and time again, allowing not only our planet to be compromised in the process, but our fellow human beings as well. A notable phenomenon that has grown to be very perilous at present is plastic pollution.
In Thailand, their municipalities have a high solid waste collection and recycling rate of 88%. Nevertheless, because the remaining uncollected plastic waste piles up rapidly, an approximated 428 kilotons of mismanaged plastic are accumulated every year. Thailand's capital Bangkok contributes 18% of mismanaged plastic waste. To add to this already devastating news, 48% of mismanaged waste found in rivers are being re-ejected into other bodies of water. Even if Thailand quintessentially provides a synopsis of the crisis on plastic, other countries around the globe are also being endeavored by the same predicament.
In hopes of minimizing the culmination of plastic pollution, our group has devised some realistic yet effective solutions in the lens of the ideology that every form of change counts. First and foremost, the average price of plastic bags in Thailand ranges to only 2 until 5 baht. Because of this, everyone is financially capable to purchase plastic bags in bulk, even those whose socioeconomic status is low. Consequently, some people prefer buying plastic bags in lieu of bringing tote bags every time they are outside for the sake of convenience. By increasing the price of plastic bags, not only we are making plastic bags relatively inaccessible, we also encourage the public to actually bring their own eco bags.
In relation to this, tote bag or eco bag are quite innovation. They might serve the same purpose as plastic bag, but they don't cause harm to the environment. Unlike plastic bags, tote bags don't exactly decompose. Tote bags are thrown away when they don't serve their initial purpose anymore.
Next are utensils. Utensils are a huge part of people's lives. Normally, people would eat at least 3 times a day. Imagine the amount of times utensils have to be used in just the span of a day. As we are all aware, a lot of fast food chains and businesses use plastic utensils. With the emergence of the pandemic, online food shopping became prevalent, increasing the amount and usage of plastic utensils even more. The challenge here is to buy and bring your own metal utensils, This way, not only are you practicing sustainable living at home, but also in other places that have no rules and are widely dependent on your initiative to do what's ethical.
Conversion of plastic to energy, Thai people waste 7,000 tons of plastic per day, and 80% of it is plastic bag. To turn plastic waste into renewable energy, plastic bag and other products composed of plastic are converted into formic acid, which is a chemical that can be used to generate electricity in power plants and vehicles that use electricity to work. In the production process, scientists decide to turn this into a fully renewable process that's carbon neutral. So they create a catalyst from vanadium, a cheap metal often used in steroids for vehicles that doesn't damage the environment. The catalyst is then dissolved the solution containing the plastic and exposed to artificial sunlight, and then breaking down the carbon-carbon bonds inside the plastic and turning the once non-biodegradable material into formic acid.
The oceans is one of the main causes of global warming and climate change. It is primarily caused by the fossil fuels used in making them, releasing harmful gases to the atmosphere such as carbon dioxide and methane. This is, however, only applicable when they are burned. If they are left to decompose in landfills, another problem arises: stagnance and resistance to decompose. With all this being said, the harmful gases they release after burning cause the ozone layer to weaken, allowing the UV rays from the sun to enter the Earth's atmosphere. Now the greenhouse gases mentioned earlier will trap the UV rays and will keep them close to the atmosphere of the Earth. This very phenomenon is what leads to global warming and climate change, as it causes suddenly rainfalls and extremely hot summers. As citizens of the world, we should be responsible enough to realize that our action have their corresponding consequences. If we're so determined to live a comfortable and convenient life through the tech we innovate and avail, why don't we keep doing all these things that will lead to our detriment in the long run?
Thank you, Josh and fellow friends, for listening our presentation. I hope we can learn something new, and we apologize if we make mistakes during the presentation. We are very open for every question about this topic. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Okay, thank you so much to Group Climate Action Tree for the great presentation. I indeed learned something new. It is such a wonderful solution, and I think this presentation proves to us that even our little actions can even give a huge impact for our environment. So now we will invite back our judges to give their opinions on your work or also ask questions. So for to Miss Mutia and Rudima, the stage is yours.
If I go on, I really liked it. I mean, the way Vice presented it was really good. It was something different from what the others did, so it was really nice indeed. I mean, it was really kind of like, engaging in the beginning, but as it went on, I guess it kind of, was not as kind of involving as it was in the beginning, though. But I mean, likewise, I really like. I mean, it was really like your poster as well, and for your article, I guess it had really great content. But where I just feel like when it comes to incorporating everything, in, the way you guys put it through is like wrote me. I guess it was not that engaging though. But I mean, elsewise, it was like really, really nice. I mean, the content that you guys had, and your poster is really very nice as well. And I really liked your guys' idea to present it was something different, something really nice. But yeah, your article could have been a little better, I guess.
Thank you for your advice. We'll try to revise it as soon as this meeting is finished.
Yeah. For me, that you're the only one group that doing the case study in the Thailand, and yeah, it's so engaging, and I feel the um invested on it because at the first you give the sawadika, and then after that in the closing you also say kapunka like that. Yeah, it's so engaging and so good, and the posters is also nice. You give all the solution in the four main things that you think people should do, and yeah, I personally like the illustration at the bottom that the youth campaigning and they say we want change like that. You are the one who illustrate themselves, or you take the picture from somewhere else.
The illustration is from Canva, but the we want change and the plastic pollution and the look at the problem we gave to the environment. We Tarcha draw it by herself. So
yeah. So thank you. And yeah, I think that it's from me. Thank you. I learned a lot about the plastic problem in the Thailand from this presentation and article.
Okay, thank you so much to Miss Mutia and Ridima for the wonderful feedbacks and insights that will certainly be insightful for the members. So moving on, we will be going to our last group, which is Climate Action 5. And I can't believe it. Next, we're going to be moving on to our last group presentation for the day. And to be honest, it has been such a great session with all of you. Knowing from here, we're able to share with each other how our position as youth and future leaders and how we can give back to our environment. So let's just go straight to the last presentation from Group Climate Action 5. So Group Climate Action 5, the stage is yours.
Good morning, honorable judges, fellow participants, and hosts. How's everyone doing this fine morning? We are from Group Climate Action 5, and we will be presenting our infographic about plastic pollution in Indonesia. I am Alfie from Lourdes School of Mandaluyong.
I am Manny from Matadei School.
I am Jaden from Theodorus Kotombagu.
I am Jessie from St. Ursula, Jakarta.
And I am Nat from St. Ursula, Jakarta as well. We hope to enlighten you and give you the motivations to make the world a better place. So without any further ado, let's get started.
So, Indonesia has some of the most biodiverse and important coral reef system in the world. Unfortunately, in the past few decades, those habitats have faced the negative effects of plastic pollution. Indonesia is the world's top contributor to plastic pollution, with shocking amounts of trash produced. More than 8 million metric tons of plastic waste dumped into oceans. 5 million metric tons go uncollected or disposed of open in the air on landfills every year. If we can stop, change, or make an action before it gets worse, we can even go as far as saying that our oceans and bodies of water will contain more plastic than the fishes.
In order to familiarize ourselves with the roots of the issue, we need to take a step back and trace its causes. Now, of course, we can say that humans are held responsible for the damage caused to the environment. After all, these plastic waste find themselves in the wrong areas due to the lack of awareness and efforts of people to throw it in the correct disposal. Let's move on to the impact that plastic pollution has on the people and environment. There are many cases of diarrhea, stomach viruses from consumption of water, and various skin diseases caused by the bacteria and fungi in polluted waters.
Aside from this, we would also like to highlight the danger of microplastics in polluted waters. Microplastics are an invisible threat to us. These microplastics are found in many bodies of water around Indonesia. They are consumed by fish, which is a big issue since it contaminates one of our primary food sources. Sea animals often eat microplastics because of their small size, and what's worse is that these plastics may contain toxic chemicals which can increase the change or the chance of it carrying a disease. Plastic waste does not only affect marine life, but terrestrial life as well. And
Now,
next, I'll pass it on to Alfie.
the moment we have been waiting for. Can we make a difference? And how? Well, we are pleased to tell you that everyone, whether government officials or ordinary citizens, can surely change our environment for the better. Our first proposal is the EcoBrick, an innovation in recent times, which aims to give use to excess plastic waste. EcoBricks make use of empty plastic bottles, which are then stuffed with pieces of plastic. The plastic could come from our everyday consumption of such. Once the bottle is completely filled, it forms a very durable and sturdy structure. The main function of the EcoBrick is to be used as a material to create chairs, tables, stairs, and even walls.
Lastly, we propose that everyone be aware of the 3 Rs. This stand for reduce, reuse, and recycle. While this may be a simple proposal, but it is extremely significant in taking actions for the better of our world. Awareness and actions are key to slowly solving this plastic pollution issue. If everyone were to incorporate the 3 Rs in their daily life, we might notice an improvement in our environment in the near future. Now, this is where we will end our presentation. Thank you so much for your attention, guys. We hope this presentation can be useful for all of you guys. As this phrase means goodbye, we say...
Salamat
dan terima
kasih.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much to Group Climate Action 5 for a wonderful and lovely presentation. And now we would like to invite our judges back, Ms. Mutia and Vidima, to give their opinions on your work. So if there are any questions too, feel free to ask. Ms. Mutia and Vidima, the stage is yours.
Really great job, guys. Your presentation was amazing, and to be honest, I really liked your poster. It's really nice in terms of how you guys have it, like plastic pollution, Indonesia is in danger, and then how you guys mentioned in terms of how people can help, and having a solution laid out very easily. And in terms of EcoBrick as well, I feel that it is somewhere, it is a really nice idea, though it depends on how it will be implemented, and it definitely needs help from people. EcoBrick is something, both of your solutions is something which I guess needs both governments and people's help to be implemented properly. But likewise, I really like your guys' poster, and the way you guys presented, and your article as well. So overall, it was really, really amazing. Great job.
Yeah, I like the posters too. It has a suggestive nuance so that when people see that, they realize that this is a danger, and then invite people to start act now, like that. And you also explain in the article first about the problem, which is like microplastic, and it's pollute not only ocean but also the terrestrial. Yeah, and about the solution as well, the reuse, reduce, recycle. Yeah, we can start from that, and the EcoBrick. Yeah, I also think this is a good idea, but maybe for example, if I have a thought that I want to use EcoBrick for my backyard, for my home, then I still do not know where should I have that EcoBrick. I need to search first about the people organization that provide that. But overall, it's really good if we can have this solution of EcoBrick implemented fast and widely, it can be a good thing to solve the plastic pollution in Indonesia and other countries as well. That's from me. Thank you. You're doing good.
Thank you so much for the positive comments. We really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Mutia and Ridima, for the wonderful feedbacks. And as our session here is coming to an end, I would like everyone to show their reactions. Are they feeling happy, or how are you feeling right now? Everybody can give a reaction. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so before we end this session, so I would like everybody to give everybody a round of applause. Everyone has done such a great job, and I indeed appreciate every single of it. And all of you have done a great job on creating a very inspiring presentation and action for the issue. And a big thank you itself to Ms. Mutia and Ridima, who gave us all so much new knowledge and insights that will surely be helpful for us as youths and future leaders. So looking back to how amazing everyone here is today, I think Ms. Mutia and Ms. Ridima will have such a hard time on judging, looking back at how amazing all the work and presentations from each group are. So from all the presentations presented by each group, we can all see how the perspectives of Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, and countries all around the world that has been very much impacted by plastics. And as youths and future leaders, it is our calling to make a better change for the environment, because if we're not starting to make a change or create a change, then who will? I hope everyone enjoys and get more insights from this session. And now let's give Ms. Mutia and Ridima time to give each group their score based on their presentations. And as our session here is coming to an end, I would like to inform all of you that next we are going to be having a 1-hour break. And you can start joining the Zoom later at 11:30 to prepare our next session. And as our break period later lasted, we will be moving to our main room. And please note that our next session will be in a different Zoom link. And the Zoom main room link itself will be shared in each WhatsApp or Line group. So make sure everybody joins there for the next session, since we are also going to be having an awarding, and I'm sure everybody here is excitedly wondering for the results. So while everyone is having their 1-hour break, we would also like to inform that we have created a secreto link in each group, and we will be sharing it to all of you. And each and every one of you can fill in your thoughts about the whole event of UTILARA. Event itself, either about the activities, your impressions about the event, the participants, or even us as the committee. And feel free to just type in your thoughts about UTILARA. And before ending the session, maybe I would like to ask a final statement from Ms. Mutia and Ridima. You can tell us your impressions or how wonderful it is, the session today.
If I go on, I would like the very first thing that I would say is that you guys did a really amazing job. I mean, for someone who doesn't know how to present properly, I feel like you guys really did a great job. I've learned a lot from you guys, whether, even if it's your articles to your, even your posters to even the way you guys presented, it was just really very amazing. And yeah, I would just say that, to able to write those amazing articles, I'm sure that you guys have worked really hard, and you guys have researched a lot. And I hope that at the very end, even though it was a little difficult to collect all the information and to work all in all and to present as well, but I really hope that at the very end you guys enjoyed this moment of being together, working together, and finding out the solutions. And I really hope that all of your solutions are really great. So I really hope that those could be implemented on ground. And yeah, at the very end, you guys really did a great job. It was really amazing. It was just amazing. So yeah, I am really amazed, and it was really amazing. That's what I can say. It was really great.
Yay! Thank you so much, everyone, for your hard work. Yeah, from this event, it's like for the 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and you working hard. And I hope that you learn a lot. You also have many friends that you still keep in contact with. Not until the end of this event you forget about each other, but you still can you get in contact about everyone. And after this event, you will also like you already make that posters, that articles, presentation. Do not stop here, but please spread the knowledge to everyone around you, to your family, to your friends, about this plastic problem is real and we need to start acting now, like that. So yeah, that's from me. Good luck, everyone. Thank you for all of your hard work. Yes.
Thank you so much to Miss Mutia and Ridima. We also really appreciate every insight, every inputs that is given from both of you, and we sure think that it is very helpful for all of us to be change makers in the future. And before ending too, I would also like to ask maybe one or two of the participants to like share how is your impression after presenting, and maybe you can tell us your feelings, just everything. So does anyone want to raise their hands, or should I pick one? Okay, Tristan. Okay, go ahead.
So it's really fun and really nerve-wracking, especially for our group. It's because you'd expect that people from different portions of the world, you wouldn't expect them to work so well, especially with these topics. Yes, plastic pollution is a global concern, but not all people can just connect in like a sudden meeting and given just 1 week. So I'm really proud and happy for our group because despite the challenges brought by the pandemic, the fact that we're only doing this through Zoom, we were still able to collaborate and bring out each other's solutions. And not only our group, but the rest of the groups. We were able to create creative ideas that can be possibly utilized into solving the SDGs that we are facing. I just like to elaborate that this is not, I want to focus on this project as not a competition, but more on a collaborative effort into solving plastic pollution as a whole.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Tristan. It's indeed a very wonderful 2 weeks together collaborating as youths to make a change towards our environment. And I totally appreciate all of you here for your hard work, for every creativity that you have given for us here. So I'm really thankful for all of you here. And before ending, maybe I can ask one more. Does anybody want to share again? Okay, Lim, Carlo, you can go ahead.
For me, this was a good experience. This was a great experience, as I was able to experience to dive into new topics and new experiences, such as meeting others from around the world, which are all talking about the same topic. The collaboration part, especially the making of this case study, was also pretty interesting because we were able to collaborate with other people across the world that are, of course, talking about the same topic. This is a good experience because we are able to learn about teamwork in concerning the issues we face today, especially towards the environment, such as in our topic, climate action, which is one of the most important topics that we need to take care of. And it is very good that we are already dealing with it right. So overall, this experience was great. We're all able to learn new experiences and new things. So I would like to say that thank you all for this experience.
Okay, thank you so much to Lim, Carlo, for your presence here throughout our event. And we totally are also grateful for everybody's presence here, because without all of you, UTILARA will be different. So Before ending our session, I would like to say a huge big thank you to all the participants and even to Kak Mutia and Ridima also for today. So now I'm going to be ending the session. So thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye, and everybody is welcome to leave the Zoom meeting. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.